Hey, hi, hello, my name is Tori, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about all the brands I no longer support. So this is the second to last day I'm in this dorm. I'm in pain from my period and I just wanted to talk about brands I pretty much hate now. So most of these brands I either supported or was like interested in buying stuff, and then stuff happened. I no longer support them, and we're just going to talk about that. We're just gonna go over it. So the first brand I want to talk about is actually a brand that I talked about on Instagram a little bit, but just to bring it up here, the first one is Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I think I stopped supporting ABH right after the after Norvina started just producing and pushing out a shit ton of stuff. I guess we're gonna cuss in this video. You know what? I'm gonna cuss in this video. So if you have kids, I'm sorry. I'll put a little warning in the beginning, no kids allowed. But it was pretty much after they just started pushing out a shit ton of stuff under the Norvina tag, and it was probably around the time where the Norvina Volume 3 Mini was produced, because that is the last palette I bought from the brand. And it was when they started, they either weren't completely paying the influencers or they were, what's it called? Like partially paying black influencers and influencers of color significantly less than white ones. I'm trying to get a date real quick on good old Google. Get ready for some editor's notes. So while I was looking for the source for this section of the ABH part, I realized that I kind of remembered the story a little bit wrong. The facts of racism still apply, and the video is linked down below with the section talking about it from Smokey Glow, who did a better talk on the topic than me. Pretty much they paid and were trying to like just get a really shitty deal out of a black influencer, and just kept, like, originally the deal was supposed to be $1,000 pretty much per post. It was like $970, but pretty much $1,000, right? So it's supposed to be $1,000 for one post. With the person of that size, account, and engagement rates would have been normal, right? Like that would have been fine. Then they tried to skim it down to 2 posts for that price, and the influencer was like, okay, like that's not ideal, but whatever, that's fine. And then they tried to skim it down to 4, and then Norvina was like, oh, I'm not actually in charge of brand deals with influencers and negotiating prices, even though Norvina was the one who wanted this content creator in the first place. So even though that situation doesn't directly apply to what I talked about, it kind of does, because the levels involved of systemic racism, I feel like, still apply to this situation. But I still don't support ABH. So even though I didn't remember it perfectly accurate, which makes sense, a lot of people can't remember everything perfectly accurate. That's why we write stuff down. That's why we have sources. That's why we have all these materials to back us up. But it doesn't change my mindset. They've been accused of copywriting work in 2018. That does not surprise me. The other controversy is a lot of people were pissed when they worked with Rodan and Fields and they didn't distinctly say that Rodan and Fields is MLM. Shady as fuck. I understand why they didn't inform their audience that it was MLM. I don't support MLMs either way. Sometimes my mom buys stuff from MLMs without knowing and gives it to me, and then I have to educate her every single time. But I try my best to not buy anything from MLMs because that is just so shady pyramid scheme crap. And then as I'm looking this up, we'll talk about the recent part, which is what I felt the need to post it on Instagram stories. And it was about all the statements that Anastasia was saying about being pro-Putin during this time. And it's just like, okay. I know you're mega rich. I know you don't care what the common people think, but I didn't think you were that elitist, so definitely not giving you any damn cent of my money. You don't need it. Yeah, I'm not here for propaganda, not here for actual fake news and misinformation. Damn, I cannot get a year on that. Okay, I'm gonna have to, I know Smokey did a video about it, so I'll probably post that in, I'll post some sources in the description box. But that, it pisses me off that I cannot find that. Pretty much stopped supporting ABH because of all that, and plus, they're kind of just out of touch now. And like, I really wanted the original ABH and Arena palette, but I just bought the W7 dupe. And it's nice quality, so I feel like I'm not missing anything. On to the next brand. It's a Too Faced. I don't know if I've ever talked about this one. I feel like these are just like brands I've slowly stopped supporting and just haven't said anything about it. Too Faced, the whole thing with the sister. Your sister's on this Jared Bellino? What's his last name? Oh wait, he spells his name a weird way. Blandino? What the fuck's his name? Jared Blandino's, yeah. How his sister was being transphobic to Nikki tutorials when it's like you worked with her, and I'm pretty sure, is that the brand that she worked with that she got underpaid? Yes. That was the one that did the scumbag contract. And then after everything that the co-founder sister said, it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is not a time to sit in your hateful ways and just spill out hatred. Well, I mean, they're elitists, so they don't really care what anyone thinks. But for normal people, this is not the time to like sit in hateful views, because you will get dragged for it. It's time to change and realize that people are people. We're all human. There are some shit people, but like, you shouldn't hate someone for stupid shit. And by stupid shit, I mean like skin tone, identity, ability or disability. Like, I know why there's hateful people in the world, but like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah, so Too Faced, after all that, I was just like, I can't be bothered with you. I, first off, hate half your products because they have coconut in them, and me and coconut just don't get along. I don't know why me and coconut don't get along. Yeah, after that rubbed me the wrong way. I even could have applied for a makeup copy editing job with them, and I was like, nah fam, I don't want to work for you. I don't even want to be at the bottom of your totem pole. I don't want money from you or giving it to you. Neither, thank you. Next. Another editor's note. It's literally the day I'm gonna post this. It's May 7th as I'm recording this right now, and it was just released, or I just found out about it this morning, that Jared Blandino and the other co-founder are stepping down from Too Faced. So with that information, since they're both going to be removed as CEOs and hopefully remove off of boards. If they're not removed off of boards, this will still apply. But if they're completely wiped from Too Faced, I might support Too Faced. I have no problem supporting an Estee Lauder sister company. Is that the right word here? I know Estee Lauder is the like mother company, but is it sister? Whatever, right? As long as it's still cruelty-free, still fits my morals, that way I will support it if they are completely removed from everything. Because they are stepping down as, you know, seemed like CEO and like their head director of creativity or whatever that role is called for makeup. But yeah, if they're still on the board, I wouldn't buy. And I will still keep in my, I was going to say my ban. But if they completely are removed and Too Faced produces some cool stuff, I got no problem supporting them again. This one, okay, this one's going to be shorter than the other ones because there's just one thing that rubs me the wrong way, and it's about Milk Cosmetics. And Milk Cosmetics in the beginning-ish of the pandemic, I want to say it was like beginning 2020 or like summertime 2020. They were throwing like big COVID parties and launch parties still. It was before the time like the Kardashians rented their own island to go on vacation. I remember that. But it was pretty early on, and it rubbed me the wrong way, and it rubbed whoever I saw originally post about it the wrong way, and then no one talked about it. Yeah, I don't know. It still doesn't sit with me right. Like, yeah, you got money. Yeah, I guess you're gonna flaunt it, but like, that doesn't want to make me give you any more money. So, I don't really support them. A lot of their palettes are pretty, but because of that, I like really have been trying to stay rooted in my morals and ethics, because I find that, like, I don't know, just throwing parties in the pandemic, man, like in the beginning, like I understand even throwing them now is tricky. Like a recent study came out where the CDC was like, yeah, we think like 3 in 4 kids in the United States have like gotten COVID. And it's just like, okay. I can also list that as a source down below if I can find that again. And it did come from a reputable news source, as always, you'll see. About the article, I just want to say that I did link it, I did find it again, and what I said was what the article stated and is factual with the article, and the article was written by AP. People who don't know, AP, or the Associated Press, is the like head honcho for the journalism world. That is the best place to get the most unbiased news, unless obviously you're looking at opinion or even some sports, because sports you're allowed to have an opinion. But when it comes to their news stories, they are unbiased, because the Associated Press is the big honcho of journalism. The journalism style, the written style, is called AP, which is for Associated Press. So they are the big kahunas in the journalism world. So all their stuff is reputable. They don't support someone politically. They're not tied to any broadcast networks. They are the true journalism foundation. Obviously, I know way too much about this topic as being a journalism major. But yeah, I just felt the need to say that because I feel like a lot of people don't know what AP is. They just see AP articles getting thrown around online. And yeah, AP is like the real deal. The real one. It's like the OG. So, back to the video. But yeah. That literally ever since April 2020, when my grandpa died, not from COVID, he had multiple things wrong with him. I love him, but had multiple things wrong with him. Just like after that, it opened up my viewpoint on some stuff. And also, I mean, I have this at the bottom of the list because I will talk about it, because I mean, I talked about it before, but I'll talk about it again. Why I no longer support Jeffree Star. And I feel like it made me just open my eyes on a bunch of stuff when he passed away. And then also my childhood dog passed away like 2 days after. Yeah, it really made me look at stuff a lot more critical. I've definitely grown from it. So Jeffree Star, in the beginning, because when I first found him, I was 17. I'm now 22. So I'm not trying to get too, I'm not trying to be too hard on myself, because I was still a teenager with a growing brain. In the beginning, when all of the Confederate flag photos came up, and all of the clips from MySpace of him dropping the N-word. Did he make transphobic remarks then? I don't know. He was making a lot of stuff. Little me was like, okay, he grew as a person. He's grown. I do believe a person can change, but I do not believe Jeffree Star is an example of a human being changing. And then I know he got into shit with Jackie Aina. Why does everyone want to bully Jackie Aina? Whatever. Stuff that doesn't make sense to me, right? So with all that, I was just like, started to try to not support him. And then especially when he dropped the cremated palette, I was like, oh, you are completely out of touch with reality. Like, you 100% was just spewing lies in Shane's documentary, which I don't support Shane Dawson either way, if you were curious. Like, you were spewing lies then, just being a master manipulator that you are. But yeah, after the cremate palette and with my grandpa dying, I was like, okay. The nail was in the coffin and it just needed like a little tap. Yeah, I haven't looked back. Actually, I don't know when this video is going up, but pretty soon I'm pretty much going to declutter every single one of his eyeshadows I own, unless I'm currently panning it, because I'm just done.
Thing that is more recent to add to this section was the promotion art that was done for his recent banana fetish palette and collection. Obviously it's fetishizing the penis, right? But the promotion art was fetishizing black bodies, playing off of stereotypes based on the black body and the male part that associates with, you know, that term, banana. And just so disgusting. Like, you know, everyone's calling you a racist. Everyone's pointing out how you're continually racist. And then he's just like with his caucasity, you know, Caucasian and audacity, which Caucasian is the outdated term, but I love the word caucasity, so I'm going to use it. To just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be anti-racist and fetishize the black body. Just the levels, the volume that speaks. It's disgusting. But yeah, I saw that this morning. I have a link to it and sources, and I was just like, I have to add this in, because if it didn't speak volumes to before, hopefully it does to someone, because everything's just disgusting, and it's more evident now, even more now, that Jeffree Star does not give a single fuck what anyone else thinks, as long as he gets money. Which I don't know how he's making that much money, because it must be his other investments, because it's definitely not his cosmetics company. Because if you look at the packaging and the eyeshadows and the color palettes, it's definitely low quality shit now. Just saying. And that's not me just like hating on him to hate on him now. I mean, like, half of the last 4 palettes he launched, the color story is literally either a mess or all neutrals. Yeah. I don't even know if I got any more to say on this dude. Just the caucasity, man. The fucking caucasity.
The next brand is Ofra Cosmetics. So I only own one thing from Ofra. I bought the Cloud 9 highlighter. Before starting recording, I did just re-look up, because I wanted to find out what year it happened. And it happened in 2021 when Ofra's president was posting. First off, he gave money to Trump. And I'm not going to get into politics, but this is what I'm going to say on this, okay? I don't care which way you voted or how anyone voted. Just Donald Trump as a person, I do not like him. I do not like the hateful things he said. I do not like how he increased white supremacy in this country. I do not like that he called the coronavirus China virus, which increased Asian hate crimes, Asian American hate crimes. Okay, I'm not for hatred. Okay, I'm literally talking about brands I dislike. But like, I'm not for hatred against people that are marginalized in society to begin with, because systemic racism. Anyway, so he gave money to Trump, which if he gave it to like any other Republican, I would have been like, okay. But then started to post hate speech and what was the other thing? Oh, white supremacist hand gesture. hand gesture. So yeah, I stopped supporting Oprah after only buying one thing. It says the co-founder stepped down. So yeah, he did step down as vice president, but it rubs me the wrong way. It really does. I don't like how that sits with me. Maybe one day in the future I'll support Oprah again. I would like to buy another one of their highlighters, especially the other Naked Tutorials highlighter that's like blue shift, is really pretty. But I don't vibe with it. Other brands I don't support are just non-cruelty free brands. I try to buy cruelty free. Some things do slip through the cracks, but I try to buy non-cruelty free when it comes to specifically makeup, but also hair and skin. I try to get better with that, but I'm not always the best. Which leads us to the next brand, Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild just play like the community's emotions, bro. Because here's the one thing I still don't understand. They are completely cruelty free, and then they're like, we're gonna start selling in China, but then claim that they're still cruelty free, which doesn't make sense because I mean, they're being technical with it. They're like, yeah, we're still cruelty free because we don't test our ingredients, but in order to sell in China, did I say Japan the first time? I meant China. In order to sell in China, if you pass the pre-market testing, which apparently is semi-allowed now, there's still post-market testing, which means that the government gets to go into, I don't know, drugstore, makeup store, and they just get to pull off the makeup off the shelves, go to the lab, test them, and be like, okay, that's good. So it's still subjected to testing. You see my problem? So the one thing I have been sometimes still buying from Wet n Wild is brushes. The last brush set I bought was the Twin Stars brush set because it had the cute glitter in it, so I was a sucker for it and bought it. They did do the same thing for Care Bears recently, but it was a double-ended brush, and I'm no longer buying double-ended brushes because I just think they're personally stupid. I get the practicality of it, but I just hate it because I feel like one side's always going to be down in my holder and get messed up. So I'm trying to only buy one-sided brushes. But yeah, that doesn't sit with me right, because it's like, if they did get in and somehow are excluded from post-market testing, why didn't they make it like a big deal? Like, we're the first company that got to sell in the Chinese market without having to do pre or post testing. Like, bro, you would get more clout. But it doesn't seem to be the case, so yikes. And then last but not least, I have a indie makeup brand. Now, I do want to see if there's any thing written about this online. Oh my god, she completely rebranded her name again. Okay, so the brand I'm talking about today is Mocha P Beauty. So I no longer support them, and we're gonna talk about why. But even, I was trying to see if there's like anyone wrote a blog post about it, or like even a news story. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy. So the first thing about Mocha P Beauty that I feel like some people might not realize is like what's the right term? It is a private label company, pretty much. A lot of these small indie brands that have been popping up are semi private label. Oh my god. Sorry, I just went on a Reddit post and I just realized a palette that I was going to buy is completely fucked up. They did a like palette inspired by fruit baskets. I'll list the Reddit post down below. But turns out that that company and another company, which I mean, I don't really, not that I don't support them, I just haven't seen anything interesting from them recently, is Yessie Lashes. And yeah, they fucked up the palette. They sent the wrong shades and shit, weren't answering back in emails. So anyway, the issue with Mocha P Beauty was she created a anime brand company, right? She was like, oh, I'm the first one, everyone else is copying me, I'm the first one. And it's like, bestie, you are stealing images from animes in the beginning and like slightly changing them over, you're definitely violating copyright. Haven't been caught yet, because these aren't actually licensed anime palettes, but go off, right? So then she says this, tweets it, deletes it, Instagram post, deletes it. She has a Twitter but doesn't really use it. She was doing Instagram stories and deletes it. And then, you know, people were like, well, what the fuck? Like, you didn't create this. And her boyfriend stepped in and was just harassing people. And he is like the co-founder of the company. So shit messy as hell. So then, after all the controversy, she changed her business account name, which is Mocha P Beauty, to Waifu X Verse and started to sell skincare. And now it seems like she's still trying to be like a vendor and sell the stock that's left over, but I do not believe she is like producing any products. But she has completely changed her like YouTube name. Her YouTube name is now KTTIE, and she's doing like, she's trying to just act like a beauty guru. I want to see what she said in her video. So in a video in November of 2021, she states that she changed her name because she's on a period of growth and change. So instead of getting canceled, she's claiming that she quit her business from being burnt out and is taking a break from it. And that is why she wiped it from the internet. Hey, gotta admit, that was a far better script than Jeffree Star or Shane Dawson. Just saying. Anyway, there's definitely some more brands I feel like I could talk about, but I feel like these are like the main ones that I no longer support with what I believe is very good reason or very good concern. Yeah, I could do, there is 2 brands that I no longer used to support but now support again, being Lime Crime and Kendo Vegan Beauty, because Dodir is finally off the Lime Crime board, and then obviously it's now Kendo Vegan Beauty and not Kat Von D. So I could talk more about those in a different video if you would want that down in the future, or just another one of these in the future, because as I've been supporting more indie businesses, I have found some sketchy ones. There's a lot of sketchy ones. So yeah, like I said, I will try to list all my sources to everything I said down below. Thanks for listening to me rant and ramble, and I hope you have an amazing day or night whenever you're watching this. Peace out.